I'm just talking to a camera.
I'm always ready to go.
Good.
Camera's on, I'm ready.
Perfect. Okay. So you're ready, ready to go. So, I mean, I'll give a little bit of an introduction. I have known Amanda since high school. We were both in the arts together and have both continued with careers in the arts. And it's kind of amazing to say that, because it's not always that where you begin goes down the same road. So, if you will, go ahead and give yourself an introduction. Tell everyone who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, etc. And then I'll ask you some fun questions.
Yay, thank you. Yes. So yes, we've known each other for quite a while, and it wasn't until I got started doing makeup again that we kind of reconnected, and I helped you with a couple of photo shoots, and you helped me with my wedding. So it's definitely kind of cool to see that kind of progress. So and support each other. I love that. Yeah. So I started back in 2015. I started working at Benefit Cosmetics, which is really where I learned to kind of apply makeup on other people. Because, I mean, as a makeup seller, you have to sell the product, and the only way to do that is to apply it on people. So that's where I really learned how to match foundations and deal with different skin types, because that was new to me,
Yeah.
So I've been doing it pretty much ever since then, and I've been freelancing a lot more recently, and just trying to kind of keep it going in today's society. So
Yeah, that's a whole nother video. How the heck we keep this going? But it's you're able to enhance the beauty, and then it makes my life so much easier because they feel that. Like, that's the first step to making someone camera ready, is feeling so great about themselves and feeling beautiful, especially, and we're talking on a big day like your wedding, looking in the mirror and going, oh my God, this is it. I'm ready to go. Makeup and photography, of course, go hand in hand. It makes sense to me that they need to be matched together, which is why we work so well together, because you are able to look at everyone's different skin tones, and especially working with 4 to 10 different skin types in a bridal party. If you've got a big bridal party, you're dealing with a large variety of people. You've done a key job at a key role in in the wedding day. Yeah, that is a big deal. Sure. Let's talk about, what are your thoughts on the difference between having a pro makeup artist and maybe understanding your skin tone and wanting to do your makeup on your own on your wedding day. And I'm talking, I work with a lot of budget brides. I'm a DIY bride. So I understand, okay, well, I do my makeup all the time. I don't need to hire someone. Yeah, this is what my makeup looks like. Anyway. What do you, from a makeup artist perspective, as well as someone who felt comfortable enough in doing their own makeup on their wedding day, you have two perspectives. So talk about both, and what would you have changed things? Would you have hired someone instead? What are your thoughts on that too?
Yes. So I'll talk about my wedding day first, because it was a unique experience. So I'm totally that budget bride. Like, I did my wedding under $3,000. Like, that was it. We didn't have the money, and so we had to become creative. So from a budget standpoint, I totally get it. I understand, especially during these times, that it's a luxury, really, to have a makeup artist. Now, for me, because I do makeup, I always knew that I wanted to be the one to do my own makeup. Not only that, I wanted to be the one to do my bridesmaids, my maid of honor, and my mom. I knew that was just a given. I wasn't going to let anyone else touch their face, so there wasn't even an option to me. But it's because I've done their makeup so many times. So I knew exactly what worked for them, and I didn't need to do a consultation. Like, I didn't need any of that. Like, my wedding day was spent making everyone else look beautiful first. Like that was my morning. Like I just did their makeup. I was the calmest person ever because of that, because I didn't have to worry about anything but making them look good. And I knew that's what I wanted to do, because I knew we were going to have our photograph taken. And for me, it was really important that they did not do their own makeup so that they looked as amazing as I knew they could. And I knew I could only be the one to do that. And on top of that, once everyone else was ready, they left to do like setting up, and I was left by myself. And that was kind of like my quiet time. But I've done my makeup a million times. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I've worked with the kinds of products that I needed to look good on camera. So that's where my next thing would be the reason you would want to get a professional to do your makeup is because they have that expertise in making you look good for the camera. It's completely different. Your everyday look is just not going to cut it when it comes to photography. Even especially if you're outside, I mean, it just looks completely different than in person than you would on camera. The camera doesn't really pick up as much as you would with the naked eye. So the naked eye can see everything. So when you go outside and you have that harsh light and you're looking at someone, you can see it all. The camera doesn't really pick it up as harsh. So you really do need someone who can expertly add enough makeup to make you look beautiful, not only in person but also on camera, because it's a fine line. A lot of people that I've done obviously their makeup for say that they just feel so relaxed while getting their makeup done, that I really think that's an important part of your big day, just to be relaxed. It's a stressful day just as is, and so anything that you can do to be relaxed, I think, is well worth the cost. So
but I absolutely understand. Like I want to be able to just give that away and just feel pampered on my day, you know? So yeah. I want to just be able to relax and let that go. So I absolutely will be having you actually on my wedding day for the makeup. And I know, and of course, because we worked before too, and even with consultation, you feel so great about, well, they knew exactly what to do. They answered all of my questions. If I didn't like something, she was really able to adjust and fix what I didn't like, you know, on the spot, and be prepared for the big day. All right. So next question: how do you determine your timeline?
I definitely. So for me, it's all about the bride, obviously. So I work backwards from when the bride needs to be ready and out the door, or ready for their photos. So once I know that, then I'll work backwards to make sure that I get everyone done in a amount of time that we have. But also leaving at least like an hour before and after so that we can play. And just in case someone takes longer, I have that little bit of extra time before you have to be out of there. I also love to do the bride last minute, of course, because she's the one who needs the most attention and needs to be perfect. So I definitely like to leave the bride last and focus on her the most, and so that I can touch her up right before she leaves, and everybody else as well. But definitely I work backwards from when everyone needs to be done and out the door or ready for their photos.
Well, and so going backwards from even that, prep. So before even you get there, because I know myself, and I'm freaking out about a pimple on the day of, or okay, and what if I wanted to get my lashes done, or I want to do stuff that is going to help ahead of time, and all of that is gibberish and another language to me. So, what do you suggest as a prep beforehand, for any bride or for myself? I don't know. I'll take the help.
Right. Conversation time. For preparation, I think, especially with skin, you should at least 3 to 6 months before just assess your skin. If there's anything that you want to fix, that's the time to do it. It's going to take time to, for your skin to react to things. So it's best to do it as soon as possible and really stick to a regimen. For me, since I have combination skin, I know the products that will work when I have a pimple or when I'm too dry and things like that. So I know for me, exfoliation is key. So once a week, really try to exfoliate with a scrub, get all that dead skin out so that your products you put in can really work. So with your lashes and things like that, you want to kind of make sure you're good a week before your wedding. You don't want to do anything the week of your wedding. So waxing your lashes, you can do it the week of, but nothing too close to your wedding day, because in case you have a bad reaction or things like that, you don't have a lot of time to recover. Don't do anything except for maybe your nails like 2 days before. Especially waxing. Waxing is not something you want to do right before. Like for the pimple that comes the day of, I personally or at least the night before, I love Neosporin. I don't know why, but for me, when I have like a huge bump, I put Neosporin on it the night before. You can even put a Band-Aid on it. When you go to sleep, it'll be a lot less when you wake up in the morning. Yeah. I know people do toothpaste, but Neosporin works for me. The best thing you can do, of course, is to get a good night's sleep, which is not always easy the night before your wedding. But yeah, just try to sleep as much as you can so that you don't have, bags on the day of your wedding. But at least with me, I definitely, when I see you that day, I'll address any, skin concerns that you have. And really start with that skincare so that you're hydrated and glowing by the time we do your makeup.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Going into that, talking about your makeup trial. So you're,
yes.
You of course, we want to meet ahead of time, because to show up on the day of your wedding and just expect to know all of your problems and what exactly you want to look like on your wedding day is kind of ridiculous. So, what is a trial? What does that mean? I mean, I'll probably start it off as saying, like, I love a trial that happens right before an engagement shoot or something. Right. Because to me, that you're ready to go. You've already tested out your makeup. Now this is the perfect time to test it with the camera. And then maybe you say, okay, you know what, actually, I want my eyes to pop more for my wedding. Or I think that shade of lipstick is too vibrant for my wedding day. I loved it for my engagement shoot, but I think I want something more subtle. Or opposite. I need some intense lips because that was too soft for me. But now you have a perfect chance to test it. It could be your engagement shoot, it could be your bridal shower, because you're going to be photographed a bunch of these things. That's probably a perfect time. So that's my tip, is scheduling your trial around a good time. But I know it does take longer because you're taking your time. You're getting to know your client. So in a trial, what does it consist of? What do I expect? What do I bring? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, so with a trial, this is a time for us to get to know one another. It's a time, to play and to learn, because you want to kind of get that all out of the way before your wedding day. That's the day to be like, this is what we're doing, and get you relaxed. Like you said, it's perfect to do it when you're about to go out somewhere, whether it's your engagement shoot or a dinner, or just something that we can test out the makeup, because everyone's skin is different. And so even though when I apply it and it looks great, we want to know how it's going to last too. So I do everything in my power to make sure that your makeup stays on for the entire night, through crying and sweating and things like that. But sometimes someone's skin may not let that happen. So especially I have oily skin and I over moisturize. And so for me, I have to really play around with the products that are going to work for making it last. So that's the time to do it. So for a makeup trial, I really encourage, if you have a product that you want to use on your wedding day and it's something that works for you, totally bring it. This is a time it's not really the time to try something new. This is a time to make you feel good and look your best. So while I have, all the makeup that I know that will work on your day, if you have something that you want to use, bring it so that we can make sure that we use it and that it works with everything else. It's the time to go over your skin concerns. It's the time to really play around with what it is you want to look like on your day. Some people just have no idea, and some people have a really specific idea. And sometimes what they want is not really what's going to work for them. So that the trial is the time to figure that out.
One of the things that I say to bring to a trial is the lipstick that you want to wear, because that's one of the things that I then say to make sure you have either a duplicate of whatever the makeup artist tells you, this is the right color for you, go out and get this one, or whichever is your like a signature color. If that's your color and you're going to wear it on your wedding day, bring it so that we can make sure the rest of the makeup looks good. And also on your wedding day, you're throw it in your maid of honor's purse, because you're going to need a touch up at some point, and you want it to match.
Yeah, I think that's important too, is going over kind of what you need to do that is going to make your makeup last. Because a lot of times people, when you cry, you're gonna just wipe, and that's the first way to get rid of all the concealer that I just worked hard putting there. So it's getting used to also the fact that, don't touch your face, dab whenever you can, and it's really, that's our time to practice to make sure that, you look the same from, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So.
What sets you apart from the others, or what do we look for in a makeup artist if they're not in South Florida or don't want to fly you out to wherever they are? What are they looking for that's going to set them up, their makeup artist, apart and make it their makeup artist?
Yeah. I think, so it really depends on your personal taste. It's really understanding how you want to look on your wedding day, and then find somebody who reflects that. So for me, I really get the natural bride, the bride that just wants to look like the best version of themselves on their wedding day. And I think that's what I bring to the table. I'm here to bring out the best in you, visually, so that you feel the best on your wedding day. So while I can definitely do that dramatic look and their dramatic eye, like, I'm really going to work to make sure that you look like yourself on your wedding day. So I think it's really knowing what it is you want, so that you're not doing something uncomfortable on your wedding day. This is not the day to kind of, try something new. It really is trying to just be the best version of yourself on your wedding day. So I think it's just, so long as you find somebody who reflects your values and what you want out of beauty, I think that's the best thing. That's really what you want to look for in your makeup artist and your hairstylist too. You really want someone who's going to do what it is you want. Be wary of the makeup artist, at least I believe, who wants to do what they want. Because it's not about us, it's about you. So you want to make sure you have that person who's going to do what it is you want. That's what I think.
Agreed. I mean, 'cause it's true. I mean, in fact, you don't get along with your team and these people who are supposed to be there and lifting you up on your day, that they shouldn't be part of your team. I do not know what exactly this is supposed to look like. Like, I don't know how to make this the better me. I do know that I agree that I want to look like myself, and that heck, I know I want some like longer lashes, so I intend to go ahead of time and get additional lashes, but I'm not going to do the like looks like I have hands on my head.
Yeah.
Like, I see it all the time. There are a trillion blogs about this is the list of questions you need to make sure that you ask your, name it, hairstylist, makeup artist, photographer, wedding manager. There's a list. To me, most of that list is just should automatically be already included in our consultation, and like it's things that I automatically already say. But of course, it's I don't know. Some people may not realize or may not know the questions that they're supposed to ask. Are there any weird questions, or are there any questions that you thought were actually really cool when they were asked to you, or suggestions because you wish someone would ask you these things for future brides?
Just know that, I mean, we're always willing to kind of work within your budget. There's always something that we can do to make it happen, because we believe that these services are really, important for your day. Sometimes there's like a miscommunication with color. A lot of people see color differently, and it's really important to make sure that you and I are on the same page. So if you're working with a makeup artist, make sure, if we're looking at a picture and you called it, let's say like this bottle.
Okay.
It's pink.
Yeah.
But so there's undertones. So either there's going to be blue pinks and there's going to be like a warm pink. So like a reddish pink. That's important, because some people are actually really sensitive to those undertones. Like they'll say that they hate cool colors. They hate blue pinks. And then they'll show me a picture of what they want. And I'm like, that's pink. That's a blue pink. And I'm like, so do you like the blue pink, or I don't understand. So I think that's important of a question to have when you're doing your trial is to, if you don't like something, kind of tell me why, what is it about the color that you don't like, so that I know from now on, she says she likes pink, but she really doesn't. Some questions are, like, how can I make my makeup last all day?
Good question.
Yeah. And I think, at least for me, that it's not so much of an illusion, but it's really what you do in order to make your makeup last longer. I think it's an understanding of your skin type first, making sure we prep correctly, and powder correctly and set correctly so that your makeup lasts. I think with heat, I mean, again, with tears and sweat, so long as you just don't touch your face, it'll be okay. And as long as you have a little napkin just to dab and to take away that little bit of extra shine, really goes a long way.
How far in advance do you book a wedding, a makeup artist?
I mean, you could do it as soon as you want. I really think it's getting that trial in as soon as possible. So I feel like as soon as you start preparing your plans, like once you set your date and you're going to do your bridal shower or your engagement party, I think that's a good time to start looking. Try somebody out and see how you feel. I think getting that trial done first is really important. And then if you like them, I would say book them so that you have that set in stone.
How do you, or are you able to accommodate for maid of honor? I mean, my bridal party, my mother of honor, my mother of honor. Sorry, let's. A lot of acronyms in.
It really is.
Oh my gosh, bridal parties, all my bridesmaids, my mother-in-law, my mother, so mother of the bride, and I even had requests from aunts who are part of the family who, I mean, this is a big day for them too, and when part of the family is getting married, so they want to look their best as well. How many people can you accommodate, or is it, what's the crazy that you've done? Does it make sense to even bother taking care of the rest, tell them to do it on their own?
Yeah. I think getting your most important people done, I think, is most important. So your bridal party, your maid of honor, your mother of the bride, mother of the groom, like those people are most important. So make sure all of those people are taken care of. For me, I think so long as I have enough time, I can do as many people as I need. Whoever I need to do first, I'll make sure timeline wise I have enough time. But I can, 30 minutes per person is usually good. And so I could do, if you give me a few hours, I can do as many people as I can. I think, I think for brides, I think it's just really important to remember that this day is about you and your soon to be husband. I think that's the most important thing that we tend to forget. We try to please other people, I think, when it comes to our wedding. And at the end of the day, it's really just about the two of you. So don't worry about anything else that happens. You know what happened on my wedding day that we didn't want? That was the one, I don't know if you remember.
I want to say, oh yeah, the first look.
Yeah, so we didn't want a first look.
Yeah.
We didn't want to see each other until I walked down that aisle. And of all things to happen, while we're waiting to go up, I think on the elevator doors open and there's my husband. I'm like, oh, and we locked eyes. Like that was it. And I was like, of course, like the one thing we didn't want happened. And after that, I could care less.
Yeah.
But everyone thought I would be really upset, and we were both completely fine, because it happens.
And
But
he
it's
really
just
didn't get like a good look at you either. It was a
no.
glimpse. Oh shit, I'm not
Like
supposed to see you. And then he closed his eyes really fast. He realized he did it all wrong. He was told to stay downstairs.
I know. But at the end of the day, that it was meant to happen. So I think, you try really hard to make sure everything goes smoothly, everything's perfect, but whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. So enjoy it at the end of the day. So.
I love it. Yeah, thank you very much.